week on a Monday morning to discuss markets and discuss technicals and pick out trades today, right? It's been a very rainy day in Bombay, right? In Mumbai, a very rainy day, right? But let's and even on the and even in terms of the markets, we are seeing a lot of dark clouds, right? Circling above. Last week we had a very eventful week, right? In terms of trading, we had this big decline, right? A lot of that is going to be in play today. Okay, so as you all might be seeing that we started off today's live stream a bit earlier than usual. The whole idea why I started off early today was because I wanted to come a bit earlier today to give all of you an overview of what we are seeing in the market. Like on normal days, we analyze the daily chart of the Nifty, and we analyze the intraday charts and we pick out stocks. But since today is the first day of the week, and since today is we're starting off after a really big decline and there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, I wanted to come out and talk about some broader trends that we are seeing in the market, right? So that it can be useful to all of you to get the big picture. So yes, we are going to analyze the Nifty and the Bank Nifty charts. We are also going to see when the market opens, we are going to analyze the market as well. We are going to have a look at the intraday charts as well, and we're going to pick out trades as well. But before doing that, I want to give all of you a flavor of the bigger picture, and we will also discuss a few strategies on how we should play this today. All right. Okay, guys, if you guys are ready, if you can hear me, if you can see my screen and everything, please hit yes on the chat. If you can hear my voice and see my screen, please hit yes, and we can begin today's webinar. Okay. Yes, good morning Arjun, good morning Jay Kumar and everyone else who's logged in. Very good morning to all of you people. Yeah, just confirm once if you can hear my if you can hear my voice clearly, and we can go and we can begin today's session. Okay, Arjun says yes. So with that, let us go ahead, right? And let me first start by saying that the market had created a new low last week, right? It was on the back of maybe some worsening global cues that was impacting sentiment. Yeah, inflation, a weakening rupee, and rising interest rates have all created a very tough scenario for us traders, and we saw that a powerful gap, right, that came last Monday really, and then what followed on Thursday has really knocked the stuffing out of the bulls, right? What we were expecting was that the market will reach its lows of March or May, right, which was closer to 15,750. What we didn't expect was it'll do that so soon, but on Monday itself, we saw a big gap down, which sort of caused that. And then what happened on Tuesday and Wednesday, everyone were calling for a recovery. I don't think people in the market, traders, were ready for another round of decline, right? Everyone expected the supports to hold. And on Thursday, the market actually went gap up before falling down. So many traders were caught on the wrong end, except all of us over here, right? And everyone following our report and everyone following our channel, because in this particular live sessions that we're doing, for a while we've been calling for a decline. For more than 10-15 days, we've been saying from last week and from the beginning of this week, we've been saying that the market is weak and the market is bearish. And even on Thursday, when the market went gap up and everyone else were caught on the wrong side, all of us here, we clearly analyzed that the Nifty and the Bank Nifty were taking resistance. The bears are winning, the bulls are losing, and the market would decline, and the market did decline, and all of us were able to take advantage of that, right? So yes, there is pain in the market, but if you can analyze the market well, right, and if you can participate on the right side of the market, you can always you know, make the best of whatever situation it is out there, right? So when coming to the charts now, let us see what is happening on the charts. What I have here is the chart of the Nifty. All right. So I have in front of me the daily chart of the Nifty, and as I said that we have two big gaps around here on the daily chart, and I no points for spotting these gaps here, right? The first of these gaps, let me start my brush and let me make it more visible for all of you, right? The first of these gaps are going to be at the 15,800 to like from here, from the 15,800 to the 16,200 level. So that is going to be like the first resistance of the market. All right. So what we are seeing exactly here is going to be our first resistance, and that is what we that is what the market achieved, right? So everyone thought also, like even when last week while the trade was on, and everyone pointed to how the market would be able to hold the support at 15,650, 15,700 area, and there were enough calls for a recovery at that time. But as we saw what happened on Thursday, there was this entire decline that came like this, that created this whole gap. Now since we do have a gap, this important gap area becomes our resistance, right? So this spot here is going to be our resistance. So between 15,800 to 16,200 is the level that the market needs to reach on the upside. But I would like to point another thing here, that the max pain and the OI concentration is at around 15,300. Okay, so if our both the max call OI, the max put OI, open interest are both at 15,300. So if the concentration is here and our resistance is 15,800 to 16,200, it looks really difficult for the market to go and take out such a high level. Okay, so the underlying theme and the underlying view that is there will continue to be bearish, right? And another observation that I would like to share with all of you is it seems that looking at the option chain, that at 15,300 levels, many traders, many professional traders seem to have built straddles. All right, it either short straddles or long straddles, and once the market opens, right, all of these positions will be unwound. The fact that people are building a lot of straddles at these levels is indicative that there is a lot of uncertainty in the market, and maybe even professional traders are not betting on any clear direction. Okay, but one thing I can tell you, that although we will have to wait for the market to open, and we are prepared with both levels on the upside and also on the downside, but the overarching theme, right, after is bearish, and the fact that we do have resistance at 15,800 and 16,200, it is unlikely that the market is going to challenge those anytime soon. All right, okay. So let me go down to the 30-minute chart, and if I go down to the 30-minute chart now, the gap areas that I drew seem to be much more visible here. Yeah, you can see that we have two gaps, right? Two gaps we have. This is the first zone. This is on top at around 16,500, 16,550. We have the second zone. So between around say 15,800 to 16,200 is our first zone, and 16,500 to 16,550 is our second gap zone. Okay, so these will be two major resistance areas for the market, and we can see that the market has not really given any sort of bullish move at all. We saw this first gap move down on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we saw some sort of recovery. And on Wednesday, it went flat. On Thursday, there was a gap up. And the way the market has fallen, it did not even allow a single 30-minute candle to rally upwards. Okay. Now, I had informed all of you people who were there in my stream last week, right? In my last week's stream, what we did discuss was something called an institutional selling pattern, where you know there are certain patterns that are formed when bigger players are exiting a stock, and I explained to all of you is that when we see something like this, it's an indication that a big player or a big FI is sort of dumping their positions. And on Friday, the market players were so beaten down with this whole fall that there was no rally attempt also. You know, see, when we see a when we see a big sell-off, and after that sell-off, if we have to sort of look for a reversal, there has to be some attempt to rally, right? On Friday, there was no attempt to rally. If you see, the market was completely flat on Friday. It's indicative again of the fact that the players got battered and really tired out after the beating that they've taken last week. All right. So now, what I showed you right now was the 30-minute chart and the daily chart. I promised you that we'll do some longer term analysis on the Nifty and on the Bank Nifty. So let us go back to our chart now and let us do some longer term analysis on both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to my weekly chart, and on my weekly chart I'm going to add one of our favorite Ichimoku indicators. Okay, so what you have in front of you right now is the weekly chart of the Nifty with the Ichimoku indicator here. Okay, so let me now go and tell me now one thing, guys. On the higher time frame, what do you see? Do you see that the market is super duper bullish, or do you see that the market is bearish? Now, what do you see on the basis of our Ichimoku here? If anyone has any observations to share, please write on the chat. Okay, the first thing that I see here is that the Nifty seems to have broken out of the cloud. All right, and albeit what we are seeing here is a very thick cloud. Okay, it's a very thick cloud, and our Nifty has broken out of this particular cloud. Another point is, if we see the Nifty coming lower today, our short-term tracking lines, which is our TS and KS line. If you see these two lines, TS and KS lines, these are the short-term trackers. These two lines will also start moving below the cloud. That is another sort of indication of bearishness. Now Clinton is writing on the chat so that it is broken the Kumo. It is absolutely right, Clinton. And I remember that last week, in our last week session, I remember Clinton also pointed out that we are seeing a Kumo twist. Now, what is a Kumo twist? It is indicating that the future cloud, right, is also turning bearish. All right. So that is another sign of bearishness that we are seeing on the higher time frame. If I go down and have a look at the RSI, what do I see on the RSI? I see that the RSI has broken below the 40 mark, which is again a sign that the momentum is dissipating. And of course, when I look at the ADX and the DI lines, the minus DI line is above the plus DI line, right? And the ADX is also seems to be inching up. So it is clear that the downtrend is what is dominating, and I see that this negative DI line here has broken its former top. The fact that it has broken its former top is indicating that a new bearish dominance is taking over. Okay, so yes, the higher time frame chart of the Nifty clearly, right? So that is what we are seeing. Yes, I can see that people are participating on the chat as well. That is good. Arjun is saying that the bearish below cloud and long body candle. That is a good observation, Arjun. Like Jay Kumar says, RSI has gone below 40. Like Clinton says, Senku crossover. Right? So all of these things are coming on the chat, which is very nice. Right? That is good. And it is another point being made is that the market is moving towards 15,000. Yes, 15,000 is one level. I will come to the levels now very shortly. What looking at all of these things, what it looks like is that the immediate support is not even 15,000, but the immediate support will be somewhere around 14,000 over here, like this particular zone here, which will be around the 14,750 levels, right? That is where we can expect some sort of support to emerge. Yeah, and of course 15,800 will be the ceiling. So there is a pretty wide range to play with, right from 14,750 to 15,800 is the range that we can play for on the Nifty. Although because we are analyzing that the underlying trend is going to be bearish, we will look first for lower levels before we start looking for higher levels. All right. So that was the Nifty, and unlike the Nifty, let me have a look at the Bank Nifty now. Okay. So I see something similar happening on the Bank Nifty, but there are slight differences. I'm seeing that the RSI here is attempting to take some sort of support at 40. Although it is sort of poked below 40, it is trying to take some support over here. But although the larger trend that we are seeing on the Ichimoku, like I explained on the Nifty and on the ADX also, you can see here how the DI line is taking dominance. All of these things are pointing towards bearishness. Like here very clearly we can see like a break out of the cloud, rally towards the cloud again. It is taken resistance and come down over here again, right? So again a bearish undertone on the Bank Nifty. RSI is just pinching below 40. Let us see if this holds or no. And our ADX again is in dominance. It is broken above its former peak, right? So again we do have a gap area on the Bank Nifty as well. If I go to the 30-minute chart, what I will see that there is this particular gap area like we had on the Nifty between I would say around 33,400 to 500, approximately this range, right? What we are seeing here is the area of resistance for our Bank Nifty as well. And if I look for lower levels, I see that below the March low, right, below the low that came at March, we can look for some resistance. We can look for some support at 31,000 levels. All right, at around 31,000 levels, इसके नीचे 31 के आसपास we can look for certain supports. All right, so that was your higher time frame view for both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. I hope all of you people got an idea on how you can sort of uh, play these counters now, yeah, and how you're going to sort of plan your trades, what you're going to do. All of that will be based on this. Okay, now many of you have also sort of written asking ki I'm doing a lot of investment, what about my long term portfolios? Like, what I would suggest right now is that the trends in the market still do not look very sanguine. So long term investment, buying on the dips, building portfolio right now, all those things are still big avoid right now till the market settles down and till the market shows gets out of this entire corrective wave, right? And once it is out of the corrective wave and it is going to start a new move, that is when we can look to sort of identify investment candidates, right? How will you know when that happens? Of course, you can be connected to this live session of ours. We will discuss all of it, but there is one particular stock that has been beaten down for a while that we would like to discuss with you, and that is something that has come in our favorite insight section of Dr. CK cknarayan.com. So on our website cknarayan.com, we all know that there is this insight section, and on our insight section we have written a note on this stock Tanla platforms. It is shown a 50% decline from the top, and we have analyzed here on how it is come and stop to a particular value area, right? And you can sort of take advantage of that, right? So all of you who are here, please ensure that you are reading this particular note on Tanla, and you can decide whether you want to take a position on the stock. The next article definitely is on cryptos. Like we all know the volume of wealth that has been eroded from the crypto market, but what else now for cryptos? You can read that here, which is mentioned in detail. And the third is of course about the rise in FD rates, right? So abhi kya in India mein, right, when we look at the news, people are talking about various sort of macro factors like inflation and rising rates and all of these things, but what really matters the most for our markets and for people like you and me are FD rates. एक बार FD का rate increase होता है, right? So people end up taking money out of the market and putting it in FD. Okay, so that is a competition for equity money. How that is going to impact the market? Will it impact? Will it not impact? Right? What will happen? All of that is written in this particular post here, where we've spoken about FD rates. That is another thing that you can have a look at. All right. So all of these things are super useful for you guys. So go to cknarayan.com and you can see the link posted over here right on top. You want, I can zoom in a bit for you people to see cknarayan.com here, and there is this column of insights. You can go and you can read all of these articles. Okay, now we are done with the higher time frame analysis of the Nifty and Bank Nifty. Let us have a look at the sectors now. Okay, let us go and see that what sectors are likely have been the winners and what sectors have been the losers. I am going to change from day and go to month, and I want to see from the beginning of the month what has been the trend in the market, right? I can clearly say that no questions asked that everything is in the red, right? But the sectors that have seemed to have taken most damage are cement, metals, textiles. ठीक है, तो ये वाले जो sectors है, they are the ones with maximum damage in the market. I hope you people are, it is visible for all of you. I have zoomed in a bit now. अभी मैंने zoom किया तो आप लोग सबको भी दिखाई देगा. Any other sector that you guys are seeing with the maximum hit. मीडिया है और एक देखो मीडिया है 67, ठीक है यहाँ पे. So textiles 100%, 78% of textiles is in the red. If I go to metals now, 75% of the metal sector, media sector, what else? Cement. So the top 4 sectors that have been beaten down are cement, media, metals and textiles. If there has to be a further decline, or if there has to be a further sell-off in the market, it should emanate in these sectors because they are the weakest. Yes, PSU Bank is also pretty weak at 50. Yeah, almost all sectors are at 50 here. Construction at 59, financial services is at 59, right? Chemicals at 57, construction at 59. So across the table, what we are seeing is that we are seeing the weaknesses across the table. If I go down to the cement sector, and what were the 2 highest? Textiles. Let me find out what is the stock that has taken the maximum hit, right? Strangely, Oil India and MRPL are still positive in energy, right? In pharma, I can see Ajanta Pharma, Abbott and Glaxo in the positive, rest all in the negative. Hykel is the worst, Loris Lab, Solara. In the IT sector, almost everything is in the red, and of course Mastech and BCG are the ones that have taken the biggest hit. PSU Bank, like how Jay Kumar mentioned on the chat, PSU Bank again everything on the red. Indian Bank, IOB, Bank of India, Central Bank seem to be the biggest losers of the month. I find that the stocks from the FNO universe, SBI and Bob, haven't fallen as much, right? Now coming to private banks, RBL Bank is the worst hit, followed by IndusInd, and third was Kotak. Industrial manufacturing, LG Equipment. I've been pointing out LG Equipment for a while now. The market seems to be falling, but this particular stock always seems to be holding on, right? So HEG, Finpipe and Graphite, Polycab, these 4 are the worst hit in industrial manufacturing. In auto, right, TVS Motor, from the FNO pack, only TVS Motor is holding on, everything else is falling, and Tata Motors and Hero seem to be the worst performers. Of course, now coming to metals, one of the weakest packs, Hindalco, Nalco, VDL, Tata Steel. All okay, so we find all FNO items here being the weakest, so we can look for some declines here, right? Miscellaneous, BDL in the positive, MRF and Apollo Tyre in the negative. Okay, here we can, I'm not going through all sectors now. I'm coming to cement, Re-Cement, Ramco and Ultratech. These are the 3 worst hits, so we should keep these 3 in mind. Let me scroll down to textiles now. Yeah, and I find that Trident is the worst hit here, and in chemicals, I find that SRF, Balaji Amines, Gujarat Fluoro, I have Anupam Rasayan, Chemplast, Sanmar, all of these ones are the, so basically what I'm seeing in the chemical sector is that in 2021, 2020, all the stocks that had really high valuation, that really went up, those are the stocks that are getting beaten down now in abhi ke market mein. So that is the sort of movement that we are seeing. But overall, we found that cement, textiles, like metals, and financial services are those sectors that are the weakest. Okay, I don't see strength in any sector, so no point talking about the strongest sectors. I only see that we do have a lot of weakness in most sectors. All right. Okay. So I think we are close to 9:15 now. So let us go and see how the market has opened, right? So from close, what I find is I can see that all the Nifty, Bank Nifty, mid cap, small caps are all on the green but flat, right? Let me go and change this to open. What do I see from open? I see again that majority of the market is still on the flat zone, and there are two stocks, NMDC and GAIL, that are in the bearish zone and are seeing some good declines. Okay, so NMDC and definitely NMDC and GAIL on our bearish front. Has someone else come? Okay, Coal India, SAIL, NMDC, VDL, GAIL. Okay, we spoke of metals, right? And we can see SAIL and VDL are already out here, and at the same time NMDC and NMDC, Coal India and GAIL. So we can see a sort of sectoral pattern emerging out here on the declines, right? And let me go now and let me choose the Nifty. Let me see what is happening on the Nifty. On our Nifty, of course, Coal India is a loser. Tata Steel is another loser here. So some more talk of how metal stocks are coming down. If I look at the Nifty Bank is completely flat. I don't see any leaders participating today. Axis Bank, SBI, ICICI, HDFC, Kotak are all flat. So no real participation on the Bank Nifty by leaders, and I see that there is some downside participation on some high weighted stock like Tata Steel and all on the Nifty. All right. So let me go back to the sector view and see from an intraday perspective. See here, I find that metals is a sector that is showing us some bit of decline here. So let me now quickly go to the intraday charts of both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty and see what is happening here. So what I have here is the intraday chart of the Nifty, and I find a small body candle here, and I don't see much happening on the Nifty right now. And let us go to the Bank Nifty. I see that that both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty have opened flat. Yeah, but the Bank Nifty seems to have opened above its CPR. Yeah. So I have an open above the CPR for the Bank Nifty, and even when I look at the Nifty, it seems to I have a very narrow CPR on the Nifty, and it seems to have opened right on the CPR level. Okay, right on its pivot level, it seems to have opened up. Both are Nifty and Bank Nifty. Okay. Right, so let us have a look at some metal stocks now to see if we are finding any action. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go and move this to indices, and I'm going to wait for some signal to come on both the Nifty and Bank Nifty. Right, I'm going to keep so what I'm setting up here is something called the rolling ticker, and on the rolling ticker I want to set up alerts that I can get on the Nifty and on the Bank Nifty right at open. Okay, so these are all the alerts I'm going to keep. I don't want to keep too many of them, but as of right now I don't see any signal come. The reason why no signal has come, because you can see how our Nifty and Bank Nifty is pretty flat. But I don't need to worry too much about these charts now, because I've already set up my alert here and kept. If any sort of signal comes on our Nifty or Bank Nifty, we will be alerted over here. And at the same time, I will open another instance of this rolling ticker here, and I want to see what is going to happen here on the stocks, right? and I will put, so all of these things I'm going to set up, and I can see an open high in GAIL, open high in IDFC First that has come right now. So let me quickly look at the chart of IDFC First, and I can see that I can see that an open equal to high. It is broken below S1, broken below previous day's low, and it has given me a follow-up candle also. So our first target here will be 30, but also IDFC stock, IDFC First is a 2-digit stock, and people who are, who attend my sessions and who attend all our webinars will know that we don't really prefer playing too much with two-digit stocks over here. IOC broken below previous day's low, PFC, BPCL, UBL, Tata Chemical, Jindal Steel. All right. So I can see the latest. I know that metals are negative, and Jindal Steel seems to have broken below its previous day low. Here we are having a good setup on Jindal Steel. Okay. So let me look for a short. If I take a short position here, I find that my first target, okay, that my first target is going to be at S3 level over here. So almost I have 2.8% to go. If I sort of initiate around 318, it has room to fall all the way to 310, and I can keep my stop loss somewhere here at 325. All right. If I don't want, I can keep it even lower, right, at 4 rupees. Okay. So I am getting a small stop loss here, and I'm getting a pretty big target over here, right? So, and I know that our metals pack is negative. Still not seen any signal on a Nifty and Bank Nifty, so maybe we have to wait. Idea, UPL, okay. I don't personally like to trade in Idea because it is only an 8 single-digit stock. All this like 1-digit, 2-digit stocks I do not prefer in the market, right? I prefer taking the more liquid and the more active and the more institutional and trader patronized stocks, right? So we got our first trade in Jindal Steel. Let me go to the sector and see whether any other sector is showing weakness. Only metals over here. IT, energy, slight weakness in energy because of GAIL, right? And industrial manufacturing a little bit, IT a little bit. But apart from that, I don't see any other sector showing any big sort of cut. Okay, chemicals and construction are showing some cut now. Let me go here. SAIL has broken below previous day's low. Okay, SAIL again is part of the metal sector which is looking weak. So let me go and let me look at the chart of SAIL. SAIL is not as active a stock as Jindal Steel, so I have to be a little more careful with SAIL. All right. Here I have got my breakout below S1, below previous day's low. Right. Again, if I have to take a position in SAIL, so what will it be? If I have to take a short position here, if it breaks below this low, my target again would be around 2.3% almost, right? And again, my stop loss would be here. But again, keep in mind that SAIL is a two-digit stock, right? It is difficult to trade in these 1-digit and 2-digit and even 3-digit stocks because they are not as active as the other one. Okay, I see that someone has entered our stream who does not seem to be too interested in the stock market. Yeah, I don't think that now is a good time for anyone to be advertising such things, yeah, on our chat. So I would request you to either leave or stop spamming the chat. Yeah. Okay, so that was sale, and the earlier one was what was the earlier one? Was Jindal Steel and Power. Let us go to Jindal Steel, and I can see that our trade is going to be active on Jindal Steel. Our stop loss is like relatively small, but it has a long way to go down. All right. Okay. If you people have, okay, beast of Hindalco. Okay, the next one that has come is Hindalco. Let us look at Hindalco. Let me look at Hindalco now. Again, I see that Hindalco also very narrow CPR, right? Very, very narrow CPR in Hindalco, and it seems to be just about breaking below its previous day's low. So if it breaks around 325 के नीचे गया ना, right? If it falls below 325, what we can do is we can look for a short position in Hindalco for a again, this keeps happening again and again. Anyway, yeah, so we can look for a short position in Hindalco for a target of almost 317, and the stop loss that we will keep can be around say 5 rupees higher. Okay, 5 rupees higher needs to be your stop loss, but almost close to 8 rupees can be your target. If you don't want to keep such a high stop loss, you can keep it around here, 3.5 rupees at least, but that is the minimum that you will have to keep. Okay, yeah. Okay, so again, another stock to look at is Hindalco, right? So if you people on the chat, if you are looking at any stock that you want me to analyze, please feel free to share that on the chat, and I'll be happy to analyze that. Bank of Baroda broken below previous day's low, right? Okay, L&T Finance, Cameria score of 1 on the bullish side. Ashok Leyland, Cameria 1 on the bullish part. I'm not too keen on taking too many bullish calls today. Like I can see that no sector here is bullish, and even if I go back to the dashboard, right? Even if I go and if I have to open the dashboard, I don't really see too many signs of bullishness here. So I may not sort of like jump in and take a bullish call unless it's like a very sure thing, right? I can see that Ashok Leyland, Alchem and Concor are here, and I see that so many more stocks are in the bearish zone. So clearly the market is tilting towards the bears. All right. But anyway, we can go and have a look at Ashok Leyland on the basis of Cameria now. We saw 2-3 stocks on the basis of CPR. Let us have a look at this on the basis of Cameria. What does it say? Okay, so the first thing I see that it has broken above the H4 level with this large big candle. I can see here, and it seems to be consolidating now. So maybe if it comes back and takes some support over here, we can look for some fresh action. Vijay Bhatia says Sun Pharma. Let us look at Sun Pharma. Again, I can see that Sun Pharma again, it gave a reversal, but it seems to have sort of fizzled out now. It is taking support at our H4 level. So what we should see now is if it takes support here and if it revives, then we can look at taking advantage of the reversal in Sun Pharma. But overall, what you need to see is that I don't see any sort of bullishness over here. The fact that I don't see any bullishness here, I need to be very careful with the long trades that I take, right? I need to be very, very careful about the long trades because I don't have indication that the market is favoring the bulls. But at the same time, when I look here, I have a lot of indication that the market is favoring the bears. So that is why I will be very careful with the long signals that are coming, and I'll be a little more free with the short signals that are coming. And again, I see that still I don't find anything on the Nifty and Bank Nifty. Let me go to the Nifty and Bank Nifty chart and see what is happening. I see again the Nifty and Bank Nifty still seems to be doing nothing here. It seems to be between pivot and S1. So not much movement. The Bank Nifty seems to be sort of resting at the CPR, and even our Nifty seems to be only doing some time pass around the narrow CPR. Okay, so exactly we don't have. So another very important thing to see is that you don't need to rush into a trade, right? The fact that you're not getting any signals is an indication that just wait and watch. You don't need to trade for the heck of trading. So that is one thing you can keep in mind. Okay, JSW Steel has broken previous day's low. Apollo Tyre, LIC LIC Housing, Manappuram, GNFC. Okay, so from here, what is up now? You people tell me there are 4 stocks that came here, 5 stocks. What is the first chart that I'm going to see? The first chart I will see from this is definitely JSW Steel, because we have already identified that this particular sector is weak, right? So let me put here, and again I see that it is over here with this particular shadow. It is broken below, but it is not a very decisive break. So I'm going to wait for this particular candle to close, right? So once I see that this candle has closed, I'm going to go and take a call on what is to be done over here. So and once the candle closes, and if I do have to take a short position here, again I see that my target is almost 9 rupees, right? And almost my target would be 9 rupees, while my stop loss would be around, the minimum stop loss that I would have to keep is still here around 8 rupees. Okay, so more or less I have like a little more than 1:1 risk reward on this trade. If you want to improve your risk reward, you can take it up to, you can take it lower, but I would suggest that the minimum that we would need to wait is here. At least so much we will have to wait, and by waiting so much we are getting a 1:1 sort of ratio, so that is fine. Let me go. Okay, so if the next stock that I'm seeing on the chat is Balram Chini. Let me look at Balrampur Chini and see what is happening here. Balrampur Chini is stuck between S1 and previous day low. If you people can see and notice, I find that the stock is stuck in this particular zone. It needs to sort of get out from here, and we will get our first target in this particular stock. So no more. So we will have to wait a little bit in Balrampur Chini. Yeah, HDFC looks good. So let us have a look at HDFC. So yes, I see that HDFC is broken above its previous day high. It is gone and reached its first target at R3, and I see it is attempting a fresh breakout at R3 level. It seems to be attempting a fresh breakout here, and like once we are going to get a breakout from here, we can sort of expect a fresh move in HDFC as well. But as I said, today does not seem to be a very bullish day. So I should look for quick profits on the way up. If I'm looking for some big moves, it should be on the way down, right? Let us see what happened to Jindal Steel. I can see that our trade in Jindal Steel is already in the money, right? This is what we discussed over here in the morning sometime back, and I find this trade is already in the money and it is moving towards our target, right? So Jindal Steel is the first trade that we took, and it seems to be moving as per our target of 310 that we estimated in the morning. All right. So let us go and see. Agar kuch aaya again, I see not much action on our index. So we will have to keep looking for stocks. I see Hindustan Copper has come again, 2-digit stock. I am not interested in. Nalco again 2-digit, right? Torrent Power and Glenmark. Okay, now Glenmark has been on a downtrend in all time frames. So let us go and see what is up with Glenmark here, and let me see if I can add anything else like potential reversal or something here. I have added potential reversal also, and let me see if I can add some other item that can help us get more Bollinger Band cut. Okay. So let me go and have a look at the chart of Glenmark. Okay, now Glenmark is about to give us a move here. I can see the CPR is very narrow. It is about to give us a breakout below S1, and we have a target of S3. And let me see what like if I take at 357, if I short Glenmark below 357, let us see what happens. I will get a target of 353, so almost 4 rupees. I will get little above 1%, and I can keep my stop loss of 5 rupees. It's a bit too much, or I can keep it over here, 4 rupees. Okay, so I'm getting like a 1:1 trade on Glenmark as well, right? So ideally it would be better if I keep my stop loss here first, right, a little higher, and sort of trail it downwards as and when it moves towards my target, because like when it's so close to the pivot, right, it does not make sense keeping your stop loss here. It'll most likely get hit. It'll make more sense if you keep your stop loss higher, right, because it needs to move above the pivot. But once you do that, your risk reward does not go in favor, because you are having like 1.15% against 1.62%. But that is again another thing you need to sort of understand when you're doing intraday trading, especially if you're trading in a lot of stocks intraday, smaller moves. You can't expect a very big risk reward. It is going to be more about controlling your risk, not from the ratio, but controlling your risk in terms of the quantity that you take. Now what do I mean by the quantity? Like हमेशा हम लोग को लगता है कि risk reward like 1:2 होना चाहिए, या risk reward 1:3 होना चाहिए. Okay, but if I have a look at this particular trade, ideally if I want a 1:1 risk reward, or if I have to keep my stop loss here, but it makes absolutely no sense keeping my stop loss just inches below my pivot. No, because it will definitely get hit if the stock is moving there. So logically what I need to do is I need to keep my stop loss above the CPR level. That is a safe stop loss. At that time my risk reward is maybe going below 1. At such times what I need to do is I need to sort of adjust that with my quantity, so that even if that stop loss gets hit, I only lose a small amount. I take a smaller quantity in this particular trade. You can blindly, if you go by the concept that 1:2, 1:3 hona chahiye. If you go with that blind concept that my target should be so much, my stop loss should be half of that, you won't hit can work in options, okay, right? But it will not work in conditions like this. So when you're trading, you need to sort of keep all of this in mind. Okay, let me see what is coming on the chat. Like Vinayagam says, booked profit in Tata Steel based on open high. Excellent, Vinayagam, excellent. It is. I'm very happy to see that you have booked profit and in Tata Steel using the open high, open low concept. And we saw that was the first stock that we discussed today was Tata Steel. and I'm happy that you ended up booking profits in that. Selva Vinayagam says Hindalco seems to be reaching its first target. Let me look at Hindalco now. Yes, all of us can go, you can go and rewind this particular video and see how we went and we applied our position there, and we find that Hindalco is exactly gone and hit its target. Okay, so we discussed Tata Steel. Tata Steel has gone and hit its target. We discussed Hindalco. Hindalco has gone and hit its target. The third stock that we discussed was Jindal Steel. So let us go and have a look at where Jindal Steel and Power is. Jindal Steel and Power also is almost going towards hitting our target here. So I think we initiated the trade around 318. We have already got 1.5% on this particular trade. ठीक है, 314 के आसपास आ गया. So 1.5% we have already got. I'm sure that that 1.5% is a good enough profit for most, but we are looking for a really big move in Jindal Steel, so we are waiting for the bigger target. So since the morning, we all of us sat here and we analyzed the market together, right? All of us, we did that together. We analyzed the market. We saw that the market is bearish. We went and we had a look at the sectors. We figured that the metal sector is the weakest. We went on to rolling ticker over here, right? And we first looked for signals on the Nifty and Bank Nifty. We did not get any signal on the Nifty and Bank Nifty. That is indicative that there was not much movement happening there. So we said today there will be stock specific action. So we moved to the stocks, and because we were bearish on metals, we only picked out signals from the metal stocks. We discussed 3 trades and we got our targets on all of these 3 trades. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tell me like one thing, all of what we did today, like all of what you're seeing today, was it difficult? Yeah, was it tough? And is it something that like you can do every day, right? We did not do too much research also. We did everything in a matter of 30 minutes, right? And we did things in such a systematic way that the stocks that we picked went and hit their targets. Okay, do this every day. Every day, follow a systematic approach, and 100% you will be successful in the market. See, there are the trading is a zero-sum game. There are a lot of people out there in the market who are not following a systematic approach. But all of us who are in this particular live session, who are neo traders, who are here with us, you will always follow a good approach. You will always follow a scientific approach of technical analysis, and you will always be ahead of everyone else in the market. If you agree with me, write yes on the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with me. Okay, so let me now go back to the Bank Nifty. Again, I see that the Bank Nifty continues to be in no trading zone. Yeah, it continues to be on this no trading zone here. It is between the CPR to S1. If I look at the Nifty also, I see that the Nifty somehow is trying to break. It's trying to break below its S1 level. So let us see what is happening here. Like whether we are going to get anything. It is not broken below its previous day low, but it is trying to. Okay, so we've started getting a lot of stock entering the camera now. I see that Hindustan Copper had a score of 3. Although we got the signal on Hindustan Copper much earlier. If you see, it is 88 now. If I go and search, but I purposely did not pick up Hindustan Copper. It came at 89.45. It then came at 89.2 again. We would have easily got a good 1.5% move in this stock if we had traded it. But as a principle, for me personally, I don't prefer trading these small stocks. Okay, it is every to each his own. You could have very clearly made money on this, because if you saw at 931 koi aaya 89.45 May. So if I go here and if I write Hindustan Copper, right, I can see, you can see that right from here you could have taken this whole move. But personally, since I don't trade two-digit stocks, I let this one go. Okay, I don't have any regrets that I let this one go, because I got 3 very good high probability trades that I took in metals. So that is more than enough for me. But in case you want to trade these smaller stocks, that particular that particular facility also is there. Okay, so Mangesh is now asking me, like, why do you see Nifty and Bank Nifty so often? The reason I keep seeing the Nifty and Bank Nifty so often, right, is because it is the leading index of the market. The like where our Nifty and Bank Nifty will go, more or less the market is going to follow that direction. So it is very important for you all to also keep having a look at the Nifty and Bank Nifty, because it is going to give you an idea of which way the broader market will move. And as we see, our first signal on Nifty has come right now. It is a BB cut. So our first signal on Nifty has come now. So let us see what is happening on Nifty. And here we can see, but unless it's going to, although it is showing some negative momentum, unless it is going to break below the previous day's low, I'm not interested. And I can see, and in case if it breaks below previous day's low, I have already kept that particular filter on here. I will get a notification here in my rolling ticker. So as of now, I don't have. So I hope you people, I hope you understand now that why I keep going back to the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is because it gives an idea of what is happening in the broader market, because the Nifty and Bank Nifty is made up of stocks and the highest volume happens there. And everyone who are in this particular live stream have requested that I keep analyzing the Nifty and Bank Nifty as and when it unfolds, and that is another reason why I keep looking at the Nifty Bank Nifty. Mangesh, is because you guys have asked me to analyze that, and I am here for all of you all. So that is why I like to analyze the Nifty and Bank Nifty. I hope that sort of answers your question. And I think with that, I am going to wind up today's session, right? I think we did some really good analysis today, and if you guys are going to constantly go and keep following this type of analysis in the market, trading will become super easy for all of you. Okay, so I hope all of you guys had a good time today. Please go out and hit that like button, right? And we're going to be doing these sessions almost all days of the week. So please mark your calendars for the week and ensure that you are here every morning. All right? Okay. And I would request you guys to subscribe to our channel. Only when you subscribe to our channel, you will be able to write on the chat. So please ensure that all of you guys have subscribed. If anyone who is online right now has not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right away. Okay, and that is how you will be able to ask your doubts on the chat. All right. Okay. With that, I have reached the end. I would request all of you to scroll back and maybe watch the beginning part of the video again in case you missed it, because that is where I have analyzed the Nifty and Bank Nifty from a longer term perspective. It will be useful for all of you, and you can take notes from that, and you can keep that in your mind and implement that while you are trading during the week. All right. And with that, I have reached the end of today's live session. I would wish all of you a great day and a great week of trading ahead. My name is Aditya Iyer. I'm the co-founder of NeoTrader, and I'm signing off for today. And I will see you again tomorrow morning, same time on YouTube. Have a nice day, and bye bye.